Welcome to Evolved Sun. I'm your host, Matt Finch, and in today's episode, you're going to learn all about the Confederation of planets in service of the One Infinite Creator, and how these positively oriented extraterrestrials work together to help planets like Earth in third density, and much more. And you're also going to learn about the Orion Empire, which has the opposite goal of the Confederation of Planets, in that the Orion Empire is based on a service to self philosophy of control, enslavement, and abridging free will. To share these concepts with you and inform you on them, we're going to be using today as a resource the Raw Contact Resource Series from the LL Research Group that did the Raw Contact in the early 1980s. And you'll start to see really quick, right away, that this is the battle of the light versus the dark. It's not just here on Earth. It's all over the galaxy, all over the universe, I would expect. There are positively oriented extraterrestrials and negatively oriented extraterrestrials. And so this is a very exciting topic if you're into this stuff like I am. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Confederation of Planets. There are many confederations in our galaxy and the universe. The local chapter, if you will, the Confederation of Planets in the Service of the Infinite Creator, is a group consisting of approximately 53 civilizations, comprised of approximately 500 planetary consciousnesses, along with entities from Earth's inner planes and graduates from Earth's third density, at least at the time of the Raw Contact. Built on a service to others philosophy rooted in an understanding of the unity beyond polarity, it is a true confederation in that its members are not alike, but are all allied in service according to the law of one. In this arrangement or structure, love, wisdom, and power are mutually shared, and each honors the free will of each and offers mutual support. A key qualification for inclusion in this organization is a pure and total dedication to service to the One Infinite Creator. Ra says, "The Confederation is composed of many of those in other densities, in your own density, within your planetary sphere, and within the inner or angelic realms. Each of those entities developing a mind-body-spirit complex, and then dedicating this social memory complex to the singular service to the One Creator, may join the Confederation." Ra gives some indication about the advent of the Confederation arising out of this singular desire to serve. In the fourth density, the desire to serve begins to be an overwhelming goal of the social memory complex. Thus, those who would become members of the Confederation found themselves long ago in your time seeking the same thing, service to others. As they expanded their awareness of other entities and ways of service, their response was to share information, to share themselves, and to begin coordinating on the basis of their commonly held goals of service to others. Ra says, "The relationship between these entities as they entered an understanding of other beings, other planetary entities, and other concepts of service was to share and continue together these commonly held goals of service. And toward that end, they voluntarily placed their collective data, all their memories and understanding and lived experience, in a central repository that became available to all." Ra says, "Thus, each voluntarily placed the social memory complex data in what you may consider a central thought complex, available to all. This then created a structure whereby each entity could work in its own service while calling upon any other understandings needed to enhance the service. This is the cause of the formation and the manner of the working of the Confederation. This represents an exquisite level of harmony, unity, and shared purpose. Thus, unlike the groups of the Orion Empire who face constant disintegration due to the spiritual entropy inherent in pitting power against power, the Confederation suffers no power loss and is able to act as one being. As with their negative counterpart, the Orion Empire, great opportunities for their own advancement come by way of offering their particular service to those of third density. But whereas the Orion Group calls itself to conquest, the Confederation of Planets awaits the call to service, aiding only insofar as it is requested, and always in the support of the free will of the entity receiving their service. They seek not to take power, but to empower others. Among the great variety of services the Confederation offers those of third density, they inspire through dreams and visions, serve as harvesters and aids to harvest, beam or broadcasting pure streams of love and light to those who call and assist spiritual awakening. The principal philosophy they make available to those of planet Earth is one centered on the underlying unity of all creation, the love, light, and joy inherent in that unity, and the possibilities of healing and transformation in that realization. Ross says, "We came among you to aid you. Our efforts in service were perverted. Our desire, then, is to eliminate as far as possible the distortions caused by those misreading our information and guidance. The general cause of service, such as the Confederation offers, is that of the primal distortion of the law of one, which is service. The one being of the creation is like unto a body, if you will accept this third density analogy. Would we ignore a pain in the leg, a bruise upon the skin, a cut which is festering? No, there is no ignoring a call. We, the entities of sorrow, choose as our service the attempt to heal the sorrow which we are calling analogous to the pains of a physical body complex distortion." Don says, "Then, in general, I could say that if an individual has a close encounter with a UFO or any other type of experience that seems to be UFO related, he must look to the heart of the encounter and the effect upon him to determine whether it was Orion or Confederation contact. Is this correct?" Ra responds, "This is correct. If there is fear and doom, the contact was quite likely of a negative nature. If the result is hope, friendly feelings, and the awakening of a positive feeling of purposeful service to others, the marks of Confederation contact are evident." Orion Empire. The Orion Empire is an organization of beings that might be considered the dark counterpart of the Confederation, whereby individuals and social memory complices, ranging from 3rd to 6th density, operate strategically together in their desire to serve the self and polarize upon the negative path. Built wholly upon service to self philosophy, they are organized in a strict pecking order that pits power against power, with the more powerful controlling and enslaving the less powerful. This is the model of empire. The overarching goal of the individual within the Orion Empire is the ever-expanding use of the energies of others through their manipulation, control, and enslavement, all for the sole benefit and increased power of the self. The entire society is organized on these hierarchical principles that demands obedience upon the basis of relative power, and those of less power, desirous of advancing on the negative path, become willing slaves of those in the higher echelons of the hierarchy. Yet, as each individual is concerned solely with serving themselves, only very rarely is the social memory complex of negative polarity capable of acting totally as one being. As such, Orion social memory complices face a great deal of random energy released by acts of separation and disharmony. Thus, the problem of spiritual entropy causes them to experience constant disintegration of their social memory complices. Their numbers are around 1/10 those of the Confederation. As with the Confederation, great opportunities for advancement come to negatively oriented beings by way of offering their particular service to those of 3rd density. But whereas the Confederation awaits a calling, the Orion group calls itself to service, the service of conquest and teaching the ways of service to self. One of the principal philosophies they promulgate to those of 3rd density is the distortion of the rightness of the elite, and the necessity of the elite to manipulate and enslave others. This teaching, then, helps to foster an atmosphere of consciousness that becomes fertile ground for recruiting the unpolarized into the negative polarity, the social memory complex gaining the power of the new recruit up to the top of the apex structure. Their essential objective is to control the light, and, failing that, if the light is a power source capable of strengthening the positive polarity, putting out that light. Among the modes of interaction with those of the 3rd density, the Orion group may work to give false information to positively oriented recipients in order to detune or discredit a channel, negatively influence dreams, plant seeds of negativity, foster environments of fear, confusion, or separation, exacerbate pre-existing distortions through psychic greeting, offer temptations of distortions of ego, and other catalyst which turns the focus away from the one infinite creator in all, etc. They are named Orion because of their location as being somewhere in the vicinity of the Orion constellation. Whether that is their headquarters and whether every social memory complex of that area is negative is unknown. In short, members of the Orion group have not a single friend in the universe. Each loves only the self, while all others in its Empire club are out to use it for personal gain. Yet this is the path of service that some love and choose, at least for a time. In the end, it seems that all paths lead home. Ross says, like the Confederation, the densities of the mass consciousness which comprise the Orion group are varied. There are a very few third density, a larger number of fourth density, a similarly large number of fifth density, and very few sixth density entities comprising this organization. Their numbers are perhaps 1/10 hours at any point in the space-time continuum, as the problem of spiritual entropy causes them to experience constant disintegration of their social memory complexes. Their power is the same as ours. The law of one blinks neither at the light or the darkness, but is available for service to others and service to self. However, service to others results in service to self, thus preserving and further harmonizing the distortions of those entities seeking intelligent infinity through these disciplines. Those seeking intelligent infinity through the use of service to self create the same amount of power, but, as we said, have constant difficulty because of the concept of separation which is implicit in the manifestations of the service to self, which involve power over others. This weakens and eventually disintegrates the energy collected by such mind-body-spirit complices who call the Orion group, and the social memory complices which comprise the Orion group. It should be noted, carefully pondered, and accepted that the law of one is available to any social memory complex which has decided to strive together for any seeking of purpose, be it service to others or service to self. The laws, which are the primal distortions of the law of one, then are placed into operation, and the illusion of space-time is used as a medium for the development of the results of those choices freely made. Thus, all entities learn, no matter what they seek. All learn the same, some rapidly, some slowly. Alright, and that concludes this episode. Thanks so much for listening. If you really loved this information and you want to learn a whole lot more about it, check out the pinned comment on this video, as I have a link to Dr. Scott Mandelker's Confederation of Planets in Orion Empire YouTube playlist, which has many hours of deep research into and teaching into this topic. And with that being said, as always, take good care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next episode.